down through the years, Bishop LaDell Thomas, for being the brother that you've been to me, and in every area of ministry that we've grown and gone through. And that's what friendship is. It's not people just being with you like scaffolds till you get to a certain place, then they break down. But no, everywhere I've gone, you've been right there as a friend and brother. We love you. But I want to, as others have said as well, and that is to endorse Bishop A. LaDell Thomas Jr. Let's say something about him. First of all, he's an earned, educated person. He has earned degrees, and he knows the Constitution. That's something for sure. We need people on the general board that understand the laws of the church. See, most people don't know how the general board works. It's not just about preaching and being in the microphone during the convocation and the conventions. It's about handling the affairs of the church when we're not in church. We need men on the general board that know how to make sound decisions, and based on facts, based on documentations, understanding the Constitution, because many things that sometimes we get into is because we have abandoned or we're not in sync with our Constitution. That's one thing I must say I admire about Bishop A. LaDell Thomas Jr. He knows the Constitution. I look forward to working with Bishop A. LaDell Thomas Jr. on the general board. That's my guy. I know he can help get some stuff done. All these things I'm talking about are right down his alley. And he's a people person as well. Bishop LaDell Thomas loves family. And there's so much for us to do in the church to lift that banner of holiness and righteousness. And he knows how to minister. I'll tell you something that he doesn't talk a lot about, but he and his wife have a special gift on marriage teaching and counseling. They've done several marriage workshops for us. Strengthening the family is so important. Bishop LaDell Thomas not only has preached for me, he's done revivals for me. And so many people, I've seen people raised from the dead under his ministry. I'm talking about right in my sanctuary. A man fell out and passed out and comatose, laying there dying. This man called him back to life. I know that God is in his life, and I support you, my friend and my brother, for the general board. I want you to get on there and serve with us. So let me say something to you, delegation that are watching. You got to vote for both of us. All right. Now, don't you just stop there. Don't stop at the P's. Go on down to the T's and get Bishop A. LaDell Thomas Jr. I'm Bishop Brandon B. Porter, your Memphis general board member. And guess what? I'm in Memphis, so it all makes sense. Blessings to you.
Good evening. The Thomas family, and of course this jurisdiction, is extremely important to me. As my mind reflects just for a moment, I must take a moment and think about Bishop LaDell Thomas Sr. And as I began to think about our father, and I began to think about his labor, his work, and the contributions that he has made to the Church of God in Christ, for many years as an unsung hero, and then for many years as a celebrated leader within our church. I served on the committee for the transition of now your great leader, who is by far one of the most profound and prolific voices in the Church of God in Christ. He's not just a writer. He displays intelligentsia and academia, and I appreciate him and the entire culture there. So I encourage you and I greet you this evening in the name of the Lord, as God is our consolator, our strength, and our guide, that there's nothing too hard for him. We must care about global mission and global initiatives and touch the world. We must be revolutionary, and in our revolutionary, our narrative and conversation must change the world. We must be insightful and spiritual and caring, so that in a very real way, the world is better because we have come this way. And I solicit and encourage you not only to consider those of us that you are dialoguing with tonight, as we offer ourselves for continued service, as we work together as a wonderful team, that God may be glorified and the enemy may be terrified. But also that you would include innovative leaders such as Bishop LaDell Thomas. Bishop LaDell Thomas can be a great partner for progress. Bishop LaDell Thomas can be a great transformer. I know what it's like to come in a difficult situation and bring life and hope. I know what it's like to take, even on our campus, empty and dilapidated buildings and transform those buildings to an oasis where we all are celebrating and proud, and give it back to the church debt-free. That comes when innovative leadership and positive transformers are part of the team. I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I want you to know, unequivocally and without reservation, I endorse Bishop LaDell Thomas, and I believe that he will be a great addition to the General Board. Let's make it happen. Let's allow him the opportunity to provide for us stellar leadership and the tools that through generations in that wonderful Thomas family can now be visualized, blessed, and appreciated by the countless millions of people that we call the Yes Lord people, or the Church of God in Christ. Thank you so very much, Bishop Thomas, for this space.
My friend alluded to a time that we shared in Texas there for other pastor there who's a friend of mine. I was there 25 years ago, and I was running a revival, and Bishop LaDell Thomas came into the service. He was pastor then, and he'd come here and preached for me before. And as I was preaching that night in the service, and I do remember Bishop Thomas, I saw LaDell Thomas sitting in the audience, and I said, I don't normally do this, but I want you to know that God is going to elevate you. And he was just a pastor, and people are going to wonder, how did this happen? And I told him, it's going to be God. I want you to realize that I believe that God's hand is on his life for a time such as this. The reason I'm on this phone is because of that prophetic word years ago. The reason I'm on this Zoom platform is because of that prophetic word years ago. I believe that we must remember that what we do is connected to the will of God. That's the end result. God, we want your will to be done. We want the right men, the right people, the right individuals to lead and to further the work of this church, because there's a great work ahead of us. And we cannot do it out of emotions. We cannot do it simply because of personalities. We cannot be led by our feelings alone, but you have to lead us through this. That's why I'm endorsing Bishop Thomas, because I believe God spoke to me years ago about this moment.